The meaning of family, past, present, and future. Question. May is Family Month. Around this time, many events related to family take place. Yet we often do not truly understand what a family is. Please explain who our family is and what the true meaning of family is. Answer. Let's define the meaning of family. Should I talk about the family of the future or the past? We need to understand the past to fully grasp the future. Let's discuss the analog generation, 1940-1975. Although there have been some changes in how families were formed during this period, it is still closely connected to the future and represents a solid foundation of our experiences. In the past, before 1940, our ancestors formed families based on lineage and genealogical records. A family was defined by a shared ancestry, with members grouped according to their family lineage. These records helped people identify their specific family branches and clans. Why was this structure maintained for thousands of years? It was due to the principle of evolutionary progress. There is a distinct line in the process of evolutionary development, and if bloodlines were excessively mixed, it could disrupt this progress. Thus, maintaining a stable lineage and not deviating from it was a fundamental rule in the past. Over time, these family structures became more organized, ensuring that the bloodlines remained distinct. Nature provides us with energy at different stages. There is a time for formation, a time for structuring, and a time when structures must remain stable. For example, when a human body is formed in the womb, there is a phase of creation followed by a phase of growth. Once development is complete, the body expands. But at this stage, excessive external mixing can be problematic. Because of this, the way families were formed in the past differs greatly from how they are today. During the analog generation, the formation process had already been completed, and evolution focused on refining and improving what had been inherited. Over hundreds of years, this gradual improvement led to the present-day family structures. By the time our generation was born, the process of genetic evolution had reached its final stage. In other words, our bloodline had already been fully developed and perfected. This means that, unlike our ancestors, intermixing bloodlines is no longer a crucial issue. However, in the past, before 1951, people believed that failing to have children meant they would be unable to face their ancestors. Producing descendants was a fundamental part of life, ensuring the continuation of the bloodline. But why was this practice so important? It was to complete the final stages of evolutionary development. Ancestors continuously prayed for blessings and performed rituals to ensure the preservation of their bloodline. Graves were carefully maintained, and significant effort was dedicated to honoring one's lineage. However, today we do not perform these rituals as often. The analog generation, those born before 1951, still carried out these traditions. But now, we are reaching a point where even ancestral graves are being removed, and family structures are being reorganized. This is not simply a shift in cultural practices, but rather a natural conclusion. Bloodline preservation is no longer necessary. In the past, family was defined by lineage and genealogy. But what about today? Now, blood relatives often engage in conflicts. This is because we are in a period of separation, moving away from traditional family structures. People now live in separate apartments and lead more independent lives. What about the future? In the future, blood ties will no longer determine family. Instead, the people around you will become your family. This idea has existed throughout history. After all, even though spouses are not blood-related, they still form a family through their relationship. This trend will continue. In the future, family will be defined by shared purpose and mutual understanding rather than blood ties. Even if you give birth to a child, your responsibility as a parent will only last for a limited time. Society will ask you, after 3 years, what will you do? The first 3 years are your obligation as a biological parent. After that, you can choose, raise the child yourself, entrust them to society, or have someone else, such as a nanny, take care of them. This is how the concept of family will continue to evolve. The meaning of family, past, present, and future. 1. Family in the past. 1. In the past, before 1940, family was based on bloodline and genealogy. 2. People lived together according to their ancestral records, forming large family groups. 3. Maintaining a pure bloodline was important because it was believed to support evolutionary progress. 4. Ancestors valued having children to continue their lineage, and family rituals, prayers, ancestral rites, were performed to honor past generations. 2. Family in the present. 1. The importance of blood ties is fading. and families are becoming more independent. 2. People no longer feel the need to maintain strict ancestral traditions. 3. Relatives are often separated, living in different places and leading their own lives. 4. The focus has shifted from lineage to individual choice in family relationships. 3. Family in the future. 1. Blood relationships will no longer define family. 1. Instead, family will be based on shared values and mutual understanding. 2. Spouses, friends, and people who live together with a common purpose will be considered family. 3. Even parents will have a limited responsibility for their children. After 3 years, they can choose to raise them themselves or let society take over. 4. Family will be about emotional connection, not blood ties. Conclusion. In the past, family was about bloodlines. Today, family is becoming more independent. In the future, family will be defined by who we choose to live with and share our lives with, rather than our ancestry. The family of the future. 1. The disappearance of surnames in the year 2057. Human society had undergone a rapid transformation. The traditional concept of family, once bound by blood and lineage, was disappearing. People were no longer given surnames at birth. Instead, each child was assigned a number, and as they grew older, they could freely choose their own name. This change came after long debates. In the past, family was strictly defined by blood ties. But now, people formed families by choice, through trust and shared values rather than inherited connections. The protagonist, Ian 572, was born into this new era. 2. Choosing a family. At the age of 24, Ian registered for the government-run family matching system. In this society, once individuals reached 24, they could be matched with people who shared similar values and lifestyles, forming a family unit. Ian 572, would you like to see your potential family candidates? A holographic screen appeared, showcasing various profiles. One person was a scholar passionate about books. Another was a chef who loved creating new recipes. As Ian scrolled through the options, one particular profile caught his eye. Lila 228. Her description read, 1. 26 years old scientist. 2. Researcher of future societies. 3. Seeking the true meaning of family. Ian was intrigued. Seeking the true meaning of family? Without hesitation, he sent Lila a message. 3. The meaning of family. A few days later, Ian and Lila decided to form a family and moved into a shared living space to start their new life together. However, as time passed, Ian began to question what family really meant. What exactly is family? In the past, it was defined by blood ties. Today, it was formed by choice. But if family could be created so easily, could it also dissolve just as quickly? One evening, Ian asked Lila, "Lila, why did you say you wanted to find the meaning of family?" Lila hesitated for a moment before replying, "People create families easily, but they also break apart just as easily. I want to understand what a true family is." Ian nodded. If family was merely a group of people living together, wasn't that too shallow? 4. A new choice. As time went on, Ian and Lila developed a deep trust in each other. Then one day, Lila proposed an idea. "Ian, let's create a real family." Ian looked at her, confused. "But we are a family." "No, I mean a chosen family. One that isn't assigned by the system or dictated by bloodlines, but one we truly want." Lila's idea was simple. Instead of relying on the family matching system, they would select people themselves, people who shared their values and whom they genuinely wanted to live with. They reached out to a few close friends, spending time together to understand each other's perspectives. Eventually, 5 people came together. 1. Ian 572, scientific researcher. 2. Lila 228, futurist. 3. Theo Tate 93, chef. 4. Marie 444, artist. 5. Eugene 677, doctor. Though they came from different backgrounds, they chose each other. It wasn't about blood, history, or legality. It was about shared purpose. 5. The family of the future. Their communal living started off as an experiment, but soon it evolved into something deeper. Without official documentation or genetic ties, they naturally became a real family. One day, Marie suggested, "Should we give our family a name?" After a brief discussion, Lila smiled and said, "Aurora." "Aurora? Yes, auroras are formed by different colors blending together into something beautiful. I want our family to be like that. Everyone agreed. And from that moment on, they were no longer just individuals. They were Aurora. Ian reflected on what had happened. Family isn't about blood. It's about the people who choose to stay by your side. From that day forward, he was no longer just Ian 572. He was Ian of Aurora. Epilogue: The Age of Choice. By the year 2060, new family communities began emerging across the world. Bloodline-based families became obsolete. Instead, families were created through choice, connection, and shared purpose. In the past, family was determined by blood. In the present, family is about living together. In the future, family is about those we choose to share our lives with. Ian and Aurora were just the beginning of this new era.